Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back at long last to the greatest region in Overwatch history. We are here live. We're finally kicking off the APAC region at long last. We've been waiting with bated breath for this very moment. Had some delays and whatnot, but here we are. We have finally arrived in this moment, and we are excited to kick it off. I am Achilles. I am joined, of course, by my cohort, Avril, and we could not be more excited to be diving back into the APAC region and unpacking these teams, seeing how they're going to perform up against each other, because we've already got a banger right off the bat. We've got the Philadelphia Fusion going up against the Shanghai Dragons.
And what a way to kick things off in the APAC region here as well. I know we've already watched a little bit NA, but you know, like you said, Seth, the real Overwatch starts tonight, this evening, today, no matter where you are right now. Welcome back to the Overwatch League 2, officially. It's 5v5 time. We've got a brand new look for a bunch of these teams. Fusion have a new roster. Shanghai brought their old squad back. Everyone is adapting to the new game and the new playstyle. I can't wait to see what they're going to do tonight.
Yeah, neither can I. There's a lot of questions around, Philadelphia Fusion. How are they going to be looking with this new squad? They've decided to just kind of shift away from, the things that were kind of causing them woe last year, and having some of the, non-Asian players on that roster struggled a while to try to get people visas, and by the time that they ended up getting over here, it was a little bit too late. Now they're going in, just full Korean squad, just going to look to see how they can perform, and they have a very tough opponent in the Shanghai Dragons, because like you said, they haven't had to retool much. This is a squad that said, hey, yeah, we've won everything, let's just basically keep the same team together. Of course, they do have, an extended roster and whatnot. Maybe we'll see some of those players getting flipped in throughout this first series, but probably just going to see a lot of the same stuff, I would think, for the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but time will tell. We are just moments away, though, from putting up on your screens that starting five for the Philadelphia Fusion. See who they're going to be fielding to try to take down the reigning champs. And here we go. Got the player cams up. We've got Carpe and Zest in the DPS lineup. Belarus in the tank position, and then Fixa and Aim God on support.
Yeah, a couple of returning faces here, some new faces as well. Fusion have had a lively injection of their rookies from their academy team in T1. So, we've seen the success that Shock have now done with their rookie squad, backed by their veteran Violet. They picked up O2 Blast as their academy team, and if you look back in Contender's career, T1 was also a very high-performing Contender squad as well. The only reason they didn't make it to the finals was because they had to bow out and forfeit due to COVID-related reasons. So this team had a lot of superstars on it. You see some of them on this roster now. Zest, MN3 on the bench as well. Carpe leading the squad as that captain, as the sole remaining figure from last year's Fusion still here.
Yeah, on the other side of the arena, the theoretical arena. Hopefully one day we'll have these guys back into some venues together here in the Asia region. But it is the Shanghai Dragons who are looking to maintain dominance here in APAC. We've got Lip and Fleta continuing to just look like the scariest DPS duo that you could possibly imagine. Yeah. And Void, of course, they're in the tank position. Lee Jae-gon and Izayaki going to be rocking up in support.
And the interesting thing about these matchups is the fact that you have Belarus, the main tank player of Philly, coming in first over Fury, who would otherwise be the off-tank player. You have Void coming as the off-tank player and sort of Fate the main tank player. So initially, just looking at the rosters, we haven't even dived into any games yet. The teams have a different approach to how they want to apply themselves to our first map, and yet the meta as well. And these off-tank, main tank classifications, with time they'll probably all go away. They're just going to be tank players, but for now there is still a distinction, and I'm excited to see how the new rookie Belarus hands himself against a veteran like Void.
He's got a pretty big grin on his face, so it seems like he's just as jazzed up as you and I to be jumping into the action, as he's going to be looking to prove himself. And here we go, our map set for this first series. We'll be kicking things off with a new game mode and push as we head to New Queen Street. Then we'll go into Circuit Royale for Hybrid, Kings Row for Escort, and if we can get through a map 4 or a map 5, we will see Ilios as well as Colosseo for Control. So I'm excited about this. I think this definitely can go the distance. It's 5v5. We've got new players coming in. Nothing but excitement across the board as we get ready to kick things off in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, it's, 3 of the new maps from the Overwatch 2 beta coming in straight away for our opening series. We have the double push week here as well. NA just finished up their double push week, so we saw how some of that went for the respective teams starting on New Queen Street. First of all, I'm going to be looking out at the compositions. What's going to happen here? We know Void coming in as off-tank play means probably leaning towards Zarya. As you can see, the Reaper coming through for Flitter is also going to be playing more of a defensive, counter-dive type of composition. Belarus, he's a main tank player. Winston is his jam. He's going to be coming out. Zest on the Tracer as well. They're playing dive, regular dive.
Yep, well, out the rip, here we go. The team's getting ready to clash as they make their way over to the bot, which I don't know if we ever had a consensus on what the bot's name is.
I call it the push bot. Just very to the point, you know. Just a push bot.
There you go. Straight up, we don't need to have any bells and whistles here. Yep. Well, here's Lip getting right up into Belosria's grill. Takes him rather low. They had the anti-out onto him as well, but it's going to be Void who goes down first. Felix Rockets not going to find a connection there. With Flutta low on HP, they will pull away, but no one's really got themselves onto the bot quite just yet. Not seeing any distance come through as they just continue this initial skirmishing, and Lip almost gets picked off by Carpe.
A really important meta for the hit scans as well. Obviously, we're still on that initial beta patch, so Soldier is not nerfed right at this very moment in gameplay. Lip on 1 HP, even like lucky to be alive, to be honest with you. Really, a lot of this battle is going to come down to Lip versus Carpe. You can see Belosria surviving on 1, but Void going down. That initially will give the Fusion some meterage, but control already back in the hands of Shanghai.
Looking to just go ahead and equalize as best as they possibly can. Getting a little bit of distance here. I mean, not too much picked up, only 9.5 meters, but speaking of pickups, there's a kill for Zest. Finds Flutta. Bionade goes out. Lip under fires. Izayaki tries to keep everybody alive. They will manage to trade this back as Lee J gone. Gets his hands dirty. Takes out Belosria there with that man.
Visor's coming. Double Visors on both teams about to be online, but I mean, look, the Nano is already gone for Izayaki, so we're looking towards Aim God. What is he going to do with this Nano? Likely will go towards Carpe. They want to get that combo underway. Beautiful pulse bomb from Zest. Izayaki kind of walks into that one.
Yeah, kind of just landed on it. Sleep as well. Connects and Void goes down. Zest just really putting in some solid figures here as far as the damage is concerned. Opening things up further here for the side of the Philly Fusion. And right now, it's struggle street for the Shanghai Dragons, who have not really been able to get too much control.
I mean, we've had like nearly 3 fights now. We've got a maximum of 14-ish kind of meters. Finally, we've crested the 15-meter mark. The Visor is gone for Carpe. Aim-God actually retains the Nano, so that will probably now go into Belosria, who's nearly onto Primal. Lip has a Visor up next, so Shanghai need to do something about this quick snap.
Yep, he invested, throws it out.
Big nade.
Carpe gonna have to run the hell away from here. Lip, though, gonna be slept out of the Visor. Did manage to get a single kill. He'll get traded out. Carpe picks that up. Now he's looking to duel against Flutta. Get some reinforcements there from Belosria. Was also sitting on the Mega Pack, so stays alive. And it's a great shutdown onto Lip's ult, making sure that the Shanghai Dragons cannot find that much value. And Fusion are getting a huge amount of distance now. That forward spawn is just a couple meters away.
I mean, it's an insane Bio nade from Aim God as well. Catches Izayaki, gets the kill, puts Void under a lot of pressure there as well. Lip's trying to solo in with his Visor, but it's not really doing too much. And at the end of the day, the dust settles. Carpe on a big, oh, it wasn't on a huge fight, but he had the high ground control, had a brilliant off angle to play with. Does a ton of damage, shuts down the Dragon, still in the lead now, 55 meters to just what, the 14 as Belosria goes to the Primal.
Yep, he is going to be slept though. They'll leave him on the floor for a little bit longer there. Aim God going to be picked off. Flutta goes down, so 1 for 1 so far. But now Izayaki is also out of the fight. Jagon under fire will end up falling as Carpe picks him with those Helix rockets, and Belosria just continues to charge forward. As needs to get through Void here in the back end. They will manage to do so. They have the combo. They have that grab combo in with that Death Blossom, but so far it seems like Shanghai Dragons are very scattered. They haven't been able to get any set plays off the ground.
And the other thing about Dragon's comp is it's designed to punish the main tank plays. It's designed to punish the Doom, punish the Winston. Well, guess what? Belosria, in his debut game of the Overwatch League as a rookie, he's only died 1 time so far, so he's been doing a great job of staying alive. The supports as well, keeping it up there. Carpe's going for a Visor now as well. A lot of these kind of dry Visors, no Nano supporting them. This one's going to be pretty much just a zoning one for now.
Under fire, though, tries to throw down a healing field, but will get picked in the end. Lip able to pursue far enough forward to finish off Carpe. Nearly has an attack Visor of his own here. Just a little bit away, now has it online, but can they get the cart control, the bot control? They will start shifting it back over, but they still have a considerable amount of distance to try to close here if they want to even just tie it up. Good pick on the Zest, opens up a good amount of space.
They have the ultimates to play through as well. You need to see a lot of value out of this grab. Unfortunately, there's not great targets. At best, you're probably looking at a solo grab on Belosria, right? You're not really going to catch Carpe unless he mispositions. You're not going to catch the supports either unless they misposition. So it is kind of hard for Void to get value here. So he needs to find something.
Bot again getting it controlled here by the side of the Fusion. Lip opens up with attack Visor, just managed to find Vixen, but Izayaki gets traded out. Now both supports going to be gone for the side of the Philly Fusion, however. And Lee Jae-Kon, again, getting a melee hit, finishes off Zest. That opens up a good amount of space now. They can continue to push this cart, but there's still just a third of the distance that the Fusion have established so far. Belosria in a bit of a pickle there, does manage to leap out, just waits for the timing. Keeps himself alive for the recontest.
And we're kind of below, well, we definitely are below halfway mark now in terms of timing. They're not that far away in terms of Shanghai, so they are steadily catching up now, nearly at the 40-meter mark. Zest trying to do just a little bit of this poke damage. Still waiting for this grab combo to come on through. When I say grab combo, maybe you might want to use the grab, see where the Death Blossom goes with that as well. No defensive ultimates on the side of Fusion just yet. Fix is still far away.
He dives in with that, manages to find Legion gone. It's a huge pickoff. Who's going to have that sound barrier up in just a couple percentage now. Fleta going to be taken out in this grab from Void. It is not going to profit for the side of the Dragons whatsoever. The bot starting to shift back, up that massive distance back over towards the Fusion's control, and they only get within 20 meters here. Avril, they've got 2 minutes to try to take this back.
And the problem here now for
the win.
The extra problem here with the Dragons is not only do they have to win team fights to do that, but they have to kind of push the bot all the way back to where they originally had it. I know the bot runs pretty quickly, but with just 2 minutes remaining, it does waste a lot of time. They are going to get the initial pick on aimbot, which is good.
Okay, they find a second. Zest does manage to trade one back. Now Lee Jae-gon going to be out of the fight as well, so it's a 3v3. Belisria dangerously low. Looks like he does manage to find a Mega Pack somewhere off screen, but Fleta picks up that kill in the end. Zest still continuing to put up fantastic numbers, takes down Izayaki, so even though they have this bot, they're shifting it back into Fusion's territory. Now they have to wait for that Ana to run back over. Lee Jae-gon's going to have to taxi.
Look at the ult difference though. I mean, I do know that Lib has a visor coming online, but these kind of dry visors haven't been getting a ton of value, especially now when you look towards Fixer using that sound barrier. They can win a fight off that. They can push the bot backwards. We're nearly at the minute mark. We're going to be in OT soon, and you pretty much can't really win this map in OT. I haven't really seen anybody win push in OT yet.
There's a stick again. Zest finding Izayaki. Void instantly melted down. Lip's got the tack visor available, but there's no way in hell that he can use it here. Falls before he would even get the opportunity, and just like that, as soon as that bot gets over towards Fusion's side of the map, they wrest control away from the Dragons, and they continue to shove it back towards the Dragons.
Which means now guaranteed Dragon's going to have to fight this one in OT. So it's close. I mean, 63 to 44, but when you look at the actual payload position, the push pop position, that's what matters at the end of the day. Your 44.51 doesn't mean a lot until you're actually pushing your distance marker, your objective marker, right? That's what it has to come down to at the end of the day. Nano is online. Lip still has his visor available. He's going to need to buy a lot of space with that. I don't think Void's been doing too much damage this game. He's been reset multiple times, plenty of deaths, hasn't had the best energy.
Yep, I haven't been seeing too many of those grabs get built up by him either, because like you said, he's spending a lot of time
this will be
waiting
a second
to respawn. Fleta chunked low, Lip pops the attack visor, the Nano goes out, Carpe on the flank, looking to get that pick off. Takes him low, but cannot confirm the kill. 10 seconds remaining though, the bot again held for now by Fusion, shifted back into the hands of the Dragons. They start pushing forward, but they need to ride this out for a very long time if they want to get the win. OT comes up onto the screen. Lee Jae-gon and Fleta instantly evaporate. Izayaki dead before he can use the Nano, and Void will be the last sad member of the Dragons alive. He's pushing the bot ever so slowly. He's got the grab, but he's got no hope. The bubble comes down. They block out all chances of damage and get the finishing blow, and there you have it. Map 1 in our debut for Belisria. He comes up with the win with the rest of the Philadelphia Fusion, taking down the Dragons on push.
And Zest as well. I mean, this new Tracer / Projectile / Flex DPS player for the Philly Fusion. He wasn't as hyped up as his counterpart MN3, who we've yet to see debut, yet might still come out soon, who knows. But honestly, these two combined, Fixer as well coming through from Uprising Academy. Aim God even really surprising. I mean, a lot of people were down on Aim God. They've just taken down the Dragons in the very first opening map of the Overwatch League 2022 season for the APAC region. The defending champions of the Shanghai Dragons are down 0-1 to begin with.
Yep, certainly not what a lot of people would have anticipated, but it's definitely a good, strong look here for the side of the Fusion. We'll see if this is going to be a bit of a push thing, or if Fusion can continue this dominance forward through the rest of the map set and potentially pick up that, a total match victory. We're going to find out, but first we're going to have a quick little break. We'll reset, and then we'll get ready to dive back in for map number 2. Circuit Royale is going to be coming up in just a few minutes. Alrighty, welcome back, guys. What a way to kick things off. Philadelphia Fusion come out swinging in the first map there on New Queen Street. They managed to pick up a victory over the Shanghai Dragons. We'll see if we're going to be getting a little bit of a different look from either of these squads moving forward. Any substitutions and whatnot, we'll have to just wait and see, but we do have Circuit Royale coming up for Hybrid.
And just looking back on that map, Shanghai must have been watching some Dallas gameplay. Maybe we heard some comments at Hanbin, have been looking at some APAN games and their experience. Zari was being run a lot. They could be talking about the Shanghai Dragons here, but when I look at how the meta has been developing, I truly do think that Winston is key in the meta. Doom is starting to fall out of favor. Get a substitution here as well. Fury coming in for Balasria. Not a huge surprise going into an escort map. It does favor the off-tank hero pools just a little bit more. So opportunity to see Void make some comeback. I looked at the statistics. His average energy, Void I'm talking about here on New Queen Street, was only 32, so wasn't even really getting above 50 energy. He's just not doing a lot of damage. He was really getting gapped by Balasria at various points. I don't think that's to speak to him as a quality of play. I just think that it was the wrong hero choice on a map like New Queen Street. Even if Hanbin makes it work, Shanghai haven't quite figured out that style. Flitter was also not doing a lot on the Reaper either, so really Lips trying to carry this entire team on a soldier. He's keeping up with Carpe. It's the other hero picks of the Reaper and the Zarya that did not work out.
Well, in addition to Fury, we also have MN3 coming in over Carpe. In the past, there has been a lot of criticism of Fusion when Carpe is subbed out. Most people would say never sub Carpe out. But I'm excited to see how this looks because everybody seems like they're gelling extremely well on the roster. Granted, it's just a singular map as as our observation pool, so we'll have to just wait and see if this ends up working out for them. They can move up 2-0, or if it bites them in the rear at the end. Either way, I think Shanghai Dragons very much going to be looking to just shake off the rust a little bit like you and I. It's been quite some time since we've gotten to commentate. It's been quite some time since they've gotten to compete. So we'll see how they fare going into Circuit Royale, see if they can pick up a win, tie it up, because like I said at the top of the show, Avril, I am more than happy to have this go all the way to 5.
Sure, and I think Philly would, they definitely want the win here. A strong opening versus a championship team like the Shanghai Dragons, who have made no roster changes because, like I said earlier, they won the last season. Why change anybody? They, did a couple of bits and pieces in their substitution bench role, but that doesn't really matter for them right now. We need to talk about what Flitter and Lip and Void are going to do here. We're going to probably look to stay on the Zarya, as it seems like. Some teams have been moving towards the Sigma. It seems like Fury might want to move that direction as well. I'm really excited for MN3 because, to me, he was kind of like the pivotal player on that T1 squad that a bunch of these rookies from Fusion come from. MN3 is such an exciting new hit scan player, and we have a pretty big hit scan meta right now as well, so it's prime time for someone like MN3 to shine and prove himself to be one of the better rookies, if not potentially even, I don't know if I want to say best just yet, because Proper does exist, but MN3 is going to try anyway. He's going to come out in the Widow first.
All right, MN3 versus Lip. See how they fare now. Sees the pop up there, doesn't manage to get the shot across. This one out. So far, Shanghai Dragons shifting back over towards the bridge as the cart begins to slowly push up.
Big difference here is that Fixer's actually going to be pocketing both Zest and MN3 at various times as well. Actually, right now, not really doing too much with MN3. That's probably going to get res. There it is. So, first blood going the way of the Shanghai Dragons. Neither of the Widowmakers finding too much value here. It is super interesting that both teams are looking at the Echo, though.
Yep, and Zest's going to trade it right back over. And obviously no res going to be available here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons, not operating with that Mercy. Lip just sitting in the back. See if he can find any kills, but he's actually going to get dove on. They go into the backside, and the beam will kill him off. Trade on the Widowmakers here. As Fusion looks to continue moving this payload forward.
Lee Jae-gon's out of position.
Right in on top of Lee Jae-gon. Somehow he is still alive, but they eventually get him in the end. MN3 as well with a nice little headshot onto Void. Picks off the tank player, and that opens up a good amount of distance here for the cart to proceed.
I mean, I think MN3 probably oversteps it a little bit, really wants to duel against Lip and gets punished. Void walks further forward, wants Fixer as well. But Zest is cleaning up. He's already in the backline. He somehow managed to get all the way behind all the Shanghai Dragons members. Lee Jae Gon's pushed up super far forward, gets punished, and it's a huge cleanup. They lose Fixer, but Shanghai Dragons lose that fight, and now we're nearly at that point now, still waiting for any sort of Widowmaker presence to be shown. I believe MN3 does have a kill so far. Lip yet to get a final blow just yet.
Hasn't been finding the impact too much here. Let's see now as they battle over the corner.
Grabs coming.
Neither of these Widowmakers can find an opening kill to try to really break through this position.
Fury has it.
With a trade of blows there. And then 3 going for the pop shot, looking for him. Just off to the side, and Lip answers back. What a kill to get. Rez looking to come out, but he's going to double down. He gets Zest as well. Rez will come through, but Lip immediately puts him back in the dirt. And that is the Lip Widow performance that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it took him a while to warm up there, but warm up he does. He's firing up 3 kills in quick succession. Ruins the timing for Fusion there as well, because Fury was slightly ahead of Void in terms of grab charge. Not too sure if they understood that at the time either. I mean, it can be difficult to track because Void was also getting kills. But at this stage now, Lip's going to pop that infra site to begin with. That's going to slow down the Fusion even further. We're below 1 minute 30 now. And Shanghai Dragons, I mean, if they can hold this corner successfully, we're looking at a full hold.
Yeah, I mean, time is dwindling away here. Lip on the hunt, pushing forward really aggressively here on that corner. And if he could have gotten Aim God right there, would have been devastating, would have forced the Rez ahead of a fight. Doesn't manage to do so. Instead, we'll just go ahead, grapples back to safety. It's a shot out onto Zest, but just hits him in the chest. Not going to lead to a kill.
Oh, Jesus.
Finds another one, though. Right back in. There's the Rez now forced. He's waiting for it. He's not going to be able to find the timing to try to get the instant punish. Falls back as the sticky bombs get a little bit of damage onto him. Void taking a nap, does get woken up over by the cart. Yeah, 45 seconds here remaining.
Okay, they pop the Valkyrie, but every single time that Fusion wants to go in, Lip gets a frag. Finally, he's kind of missing a couple of shots. The Valkyrie has all but kind of been wasted. Now you do have a Duke Plus grab online, but Flitter's got one here as well. Where's that grab going? It's all the way in the back one. They get Izayaki off it.
Yeah, well into the back. MN3 does manage to find the headshot there. Dangerously low. Fleta does go for the duplicate, but gets knocked out of that instantly by MN3. He's starting to find some real value here, and he needs it. Fusion need to start pushing this cart. Lee Jae Gon going to get picked off. Good opener there. Izayaki is not going to have enough throughput to try to keep Void alive, so does end up falling, and they will be able to get this cap. So 2.5 minutes going to be added to the time bank, but it took a hell of a lot longer than we might have anticipated, given how that first map won here for the Fusion.
Well, I think a lot of that just comes down to Lip's presence in the last 2 minutes of A, right? We're talking about the infra site coming online. Huge respect being shown by Fusion. They do not want to push into it. And then we talk about the fact that Lip gets another frag and then another frag, and every single time it gets a frag, it slows the Fusion down. They have an ultimate advantage, and they couldn't use the ultimate advantage. Eventually, the difference maker for me was that MN3 knocked Fleta out of his duplicate form instantly, destroyed that Zarya copy, and that's how we led to this point.
Back into it. But a minor skirmishing as Lip is going on a bit of a walkabout. He's coming around the backside. Zest nano up into their faces. The beam not going to be able to get the hits through to try to take Void down. Now they have to reposition. They spot Lip here into the backside. He's going to jump up over the top, but he should end up falling here unless he can get this close scope in.
Oh, that
drops down to the low ground though, and Fleta is there to cover. Zest falls, as does MN3. Both DPS now going to be eliminated, and the supports don't stand a chance. The pickoffs begin to come through, and Fusion are going to have to reset now with just 1.5 minutes to go.
I mean, that's a support diff right there. You see Zest diving on in, Lee Jae Gon lands this beautiful mid-air whip shot. That destroys Zest's opportunity to get Void down because he nearly had Void killed, right? Same thing happens for Lip. He wants to go for Lip. Lip is being pocketed by both Lee Jae Gon and Izayaki, and people on Shanghai are not going down. We're about 1 minute remaining now. Fleta finally gets that pick fix. It's huge!
Yeah, he's gonna get a little nap here, but it's well deserved. He put in his effort for sure. 2 kills come through. Aim God again now going to fall as they just pile in on top of the Fusion members. Lip will get Zest as well. Cart now starting to roll back. It's just 50 seconds remaining. A plethora of ultimates about to come online here for the side of the Fusion, but they need to be able to utilize them.
It's the ultimates coming online on the other end there as well, though. The rally is coming online. You have grab, you have the duplicate. Fleta found out, though, he is mispositioned, technically speaking. Doesn't have a fly available. Fleta could very well go down here, probably will go down here, and that will be the 5v4 the Fusion are looking for.
Well, he actually almost trades it out there and best Zest, but meanwhile, back over towards the cart. Lip finds yet another kill. MN3 going to be taken down yet again. Looks for a little bit more. Rez going to be forced out all the same. Jumps back up onto the high ground, sees Echo over on his top left. Zest starts pushing through. Doubles come through, they keep Lip protected. And we are running low on time. 7 seconds remaining as they will go ahead and touch the cart.
Solo grab.
Have they actually forced it out? I don't know. Has somebody touched the cart recently enough? They have not. Didn't think so. Not quite a full hold, but they didn't make it too far past point A. Shanghai Dragons with Lip coming alive, looking scary on that defense.
I think I really have to look at Fixer there. I had the opportunity to touch the payload, did not do so. Trying his best to pocket Fury, who got solo grabbed just slightly off the payload. So, like you sort of mentioned there, no one touched the payload in recent times. No OT triggered there. Difficult to say what would have happened because, I mean, Fury could have still actually have died in that position, but Lip is a talking point for now. He had a very slow start to begin with, wasn't showing a lot of presence. MN3 wasn't getting a ton of kills, but he was certainly putting some damage on the board, had that one final blow. At the end of the first half of Kilios, Lip is sitting on 7 final blows, 1 death. MN3 is on 3 final blows, 7 deaths.
Yep. Lip very much putting up numbers. And I mean, we knew that this was going to be a fairly tough matchup here for MN3 stepping in, coming in over top of Carpe. And when you're going up against Lip, it's just so terrifying. I mean, look at these shots. The quick grapple mid-air just to go ahead and really fully punish that Rez. Beautiful shots from him.
To me, the big difference between this map for Fusion and the previous one, aside from the obvious with the substitutions here, Fury coming in for Bellasaria, MN3 for Carpe, I'm not saying that having those players would make the biggest difference here. To me, it's a tempo difference, right? You look at New Queen Street, Bellasaria on the Winston, and just the general dive composition for the side of Fusion was so strong it put Shanghai on the back foot in terms of tempo the whole time. Here, playing a more slow, Zarya-based composition, you're playing into kind of Void's territory here now. Void wasn't able to have his game on New Queen Street. Now he can because it's Zarya versus Zarya.
All right, well, Zest again putting up some solid numbers here for the side of the Fusion. Lee Jae-gon gonna get picked off right at the start. Good early kill to find. He fishes out for a little bit more, tries to get that duplicate up.
See if defending for MN3 helps out his sort of KD and stats any bit. Zest really testing Lip's aim there, lands the body shot, the bubble coming in late as well. I mean, Fury really kind of testing his own timing. Could have been Zest punished, and that would have been a massive push for Shanghai. The confidence shown by Lip now. He knows he's got the better of MN3 on that defense, and he wants to push MN3 off the line, and he will do so.
All right, well, already good amount of distance picked up here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons as the bridge is just conceded by the Fusion. They'll look to try to play around the corner. 7-3 set back, has a bit of covering fire here. Trying to stay safe, can't get those shots in to flood it, but does manage. Actually follow up as soon as we snap off his cam and get Lip. So good kill found, and that's going to give a lot more position back over to the side of the Fusion. They have a lot more breathing room here.
And you can see just the shift in tempo as soon as one of the kills comes through. When the one Widowmaker gets the other one, Fusion finally feel the confidence to walk on up. They want to try and pressure Void out. And if one of the Zaryas dies, it's a huge difference maker. Unlike our last map, both the Zaryas are going to have high energy. And if one of them goes down, and that is going to be a pretty huge reset. It's being a reset, so they're back into action now. Looking for MN3 on the other end, but at the same time, they also want to pressure down those Echoes.
Spotted him. Knows where the enemy Widow at least was playing as the pings do come out, giving him more detailed information. For his moment there to try to find that kill, you could hear that one just kind of gliding past Lip as he's looking for the connection. Can't quite find it though. A lot of space now going to be bought up as Flutter's diving into the back line. The Nano goes out onto him. He does take a huge chunk of damage. Looks like he will be sustained. Grab comes in. Kill's going to be found here as the tanks look to fall on either side. Looks like they will actually stay alive. As Zest and MN3 just break down the support lineup on the side of the Dragons. So space can be bought yet again. And they can look to continue this hold for a good little while.
A good defense by Fusion. They receive the pressure from Flitter. They absorb it. They're okay for the most part. Trays come on through. Both the Zaryas dropping grabs. At the end of the day, Zest is the kingmaker here. He'll be the one dropping down the frags. And right now, he's putting the crown on his own head. He's been definitely, I think, outpacing Flitter for the most part. But a lot of that was due to the fact that he was being pocketed by Fixer on the attack with the Mercy. Now, both the Echoes are Mercy-less. And the duplicates are coming online as well. Flitter's 5% off.
Back up against the cart. Could be duplicate. We'll see what happens and who's going to be able to come out on top. It's just going to be exchanged, yeah, as both of them pop the infra site. Looking for targets, but everybody has to play so patiently and so cautiously here in this moment.
This is good for Fusion because neither team really want to walk in. Lip just doesn't want to give him in 3 free sites to work with, but neither team's really going to be too much with that, which means time goes down. Dupla comes on through. Double Zarya's online for both sides.
Yeah, for both sides, the rally's rolling there from the side of Fix It as well. Helps keep everybody alive. There's a nice double anti that connected from Izayaki, but they can't manage to find any kills because of that armor coming in from the rally. Smart. No one really going to be taken down. It's just Fleta who loses out on the duplicate, but as I say, that Izayaki will be felled. Zest follows up with the sticky bombs, takes out Void. Lee Jae-gon will get the whip kill, but it's too little too late. And yeah, the time is dwindling. They need to get this point, otherwise it's just going to be a full hole coming through from the side of the Fusion. Lip gets picked off here in the back end, and they are running out of time. People are now swapping over to desperate picks like the Doomfist here just to be able to touch the cart.
Yeah, they've completely swapped the compositions. Lip needs to probably swap here as well. And slipped, pushed away. Void cannot touch it. It's a 2-0 Kilios to the Philadelphia Fusion. What are we seeing?
Unbelievable defenses from both of these teams, but Fusion's just a bit better. They stopped and the picks come in at the perfect time. There's no time left in the bank. They can't get the touch with the Doom with the Lucio. So despite Lip's best efforts, as we look at the on our screen, the play of the match, it is not going to result in a win. A 2-0 start here for the side of the Fusion as the Shanghai Dragons are staring down the barrel of a needed reverse sweep in their first series of the 2022 season. This script, whoever wrote it, it wasn't me, I love them for it because this is exciting as hell. We'll see if Fusion can go ahead and close it out on King's Row, or if the Shanghai Dragons can stabilize and bounce back, put a win on the board, and extend this series. We're going to go to a quick little break, and when we come back, we will have King's Row for you, so don't go anywhere. Alrighty, we are back and in one of the strangest timelines that we could have imagined. Starting off the season here so far, Philadelphia Fusion 2-0 lead over the Shanghai Dragons. They are looking absolutely stellar so far into this series. It looked like it should have been a 1-1 after that first half of the Circuit Royale, but no, Fusion just as strong, a little bit stronger of a defense there. Managed to hold them, denying them access to even point A. Now it's a reverse sweep that the Shanghai Dragons need to pull off if they want to get their first match win here, Avril.
It's a crazy thing to even consider. Maybe this is just Fusion coming in with the same momentum they ended last year with. I'm not talking about the sort of playoffs run, but the fact that they did 3-0 Shanghai in the Countdown Cup. That was the last time these two teams had actually played. But at the same time, you know, Fusion has to give a bit of hope, a bit of hopium to their fans. You know, we got to lead 2-0, and then, you know, if Shanghai reverse sweeps, it'll be the most Fusion thing ever. It'll be the full Fusion experience. But at the same time, what if, Seth? What if Fusion actually win here? Because Shanghai don't look as strong as we remember. They look like they're still figuring things out. Definitely map 1 was super shaky. I think map 2 was a much closer game, but man, Shanghai on map 1 did not look good. Now they have to try and bring it together with Who Are You, their bench player coming in to replace Fleta, probably on the Genji. They're finally going to be showing us a little bit of Genji, but Void is still in. They don't want to be playing Winston today at all.
Yeah, it would certainly seem that way. So likely just going to be seeing more of the Zarya here from Void. Maybe he'll shake it up a bit. We'll have to just wait and see, but I am excited to see Who Are You. I mean, this is a guy whose name echoes through the annals of history in Overwatch Esports. He's been around the scenes for a very, very long time. We haven't gotten to see too much of him as of late, so I, for one, is a
And he's an Overwatch League champion.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this. Technically correct. But, yeah, let's see how this looks and if he is going to be piloting that Genji, which we do anticipate. As the clock ticks down, we'll start seeing the teams assemble their compositions, and I mean, what else would it be? We see him right now on that, and okay, early days, obviously they're playing attack first, so have plenty of time to swap it up, but I'm seeing a Sojourn, I'm seeing a Doomfist. What do you think? Is this going to make it through, or is this going to get swapped in the next 30 seconds?
So, well, it's possible that Void is the Doom player. I haven't ruled that out completely. I actually don't know who the Doom player on this team is. Is it going to be Sojourn? I would think probably not, because both Widowmaker and Soldier are much better on the specific patch that they are playing on. The only issue here is that, yes, we do expect it to be Genji. However, Genji doesn't have a great matchup into the Echo, and Zest has been pounding on the Echo, so I don't know if the Genji is going to be enough here. It might have been better to put Fleta still in the roster and not sub him out, but at this point, Shanghai need options, they need an answer, they need something to work through, and they believe Who Are You is that key to victory.
Alright, well, Lip not going to be matching the Ashe, takes that little pop shot at the beginning with the Widowmaker, swaps it back over to Soldier 76, just looking to be able to run down on the ground here alongside Void. Lige gone profit from that move speed, and he's already going to find a nice little kill. Zest goes down, but Who Are You will also get picked. Low HP. Two members on the side of Fusion, though. His fix-up was antied out. Does manage to stay alive at least for a little bit longer, but as I make the call, Void will finish him off. Considerable amount of space going to be opened up here as they get in on top of the Ashe as well, and that should basically be point A, or at least a couple ticks.
I mean, I'm not liking the Ashe here at all, unfortunately. Very much not meta at the moment. Ashe also requires a lot of pocketing. MN3 sees the writing on the wall, says, sorry guys, I trolled that pick. Not playing that hero again. Definitely go towards the Soldier. Again, still probably the best hero on this specific patch for the Overwatch League. Very close fight to begin with, but at the end of the day, Lip has the strong hero. MN3 did not. Lip is way ahead in Visor now. Who Are You doesn't really have much charge to work through on his own ultimate towards the blade, so we'll see what happens in a few short moments when he does have a blade.
See how long it takes for him to build that up. Nearly shut down. Definitely not lending to him being able to have that. But knowing Who Are You, he should be able to get it rather quickly. He's going to play up here into the high ground. Sends the sticky bombs right back onto Zest. Nearly gets the kill, but do not manage to find it quite yet. Zest now going to be in a bit of an awkward position, and he has to rotate back around to join in with the rest of the team, as Who Are You is just fearlessly charging forward. He says, yeah, just keep pumping heals into me. Everything will be fine. That's going to be the nano out, though, onto MN3. Helps find
the healing.
Narrowly stays alive there. Yeah, throws down the healing field as well, just for a little bit of extra juice. It works out. They come up with 2 kills, and that's the cart controlled for now by Fusion.
I mean, every single time you see these kind of dry nanos come on through, the soldiers are running into the front line, they're running ahead of their tanks even. He's trying to duel, he's trying to duel Void on the other end. Meanwhile, the rest of Shanghai are aiming and looking at him, and he barely survives. Now it's Lip's turn to do something. He's got the visor out, he's got a double kill.
He does, but MN3 comes up with a double himself. The Helix Rockets find Lip and Lee Jae gone just like that. Everything is equalized. It's the DPS for a support. Shanghai, though, they do occupy the cart for now. Ziyaki falling low, has that.
Oh, no.
MN3, I don't know about this one, buddy. Gets antied immediately and gets cut down to size by Who Are You. He followed up for a second kill. It does fall to Fury, but Fury falls to Void, and now there's a good amount of space here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons to make their way towards point B.
Yeah, that's ill-advised visor timing there. I could see the hero play kind of vision in his mind, like, oh, I could do this and just kind of win, but Iziyaki shuts it down. No chance to stay alive there after you eat the ante. Second point cap, not quite imminent just yet, but I mean, we're looking towards grab, we're looking towards Dragonblade. This one should be in the books. Even if Shanghai have to spend 3 ultimates for it, they should be at the cap.
Could just be an El Clasico grab blade combination here. Curious who Zest is going to look for as well on the duplicate. It is going to be Void, so copies Azaria, picks it up, immediately killed off. Lip with some nice headshots. They just melt through that brigade up. And Zest is not finding too much purchase with this duplicate at all. Only 47% built up towards the grab, so does not find it. So continue to contest the cart, just 0.36 meters away, but there's going to be the sound barrier out of Lee Jae gone. Now the blade's going to be pulled by Who Are You. Already found 1 kill. He's looking for another. Gets the slice through onto Aim God, finishes him off. And the cleanup will be there. Fixa, the only one rotating back over towards the spawn to try to stay alive as the cap comes in.
I mean, respect to Dragons, they're actually, for the timing, they could have just spent all 3 ultimates in one go, but they wanted to wait for Zest to run out of duplicate forms so they don't have to deal with the second Zarya. Then they can pull the blade with the sound barrier. They lose a play, but they have the ultimates to swing on through. 4 minutes still for C. It's a lot of time to work through. This should be a pretty tasty time bank if all things continue the way it has been. Nano Visor online now, and it will be online for both teams in just a short while.
Yeah. 3 trying to get his, but it's going to be the Dragons who strike first. Zest down underneath the map. He's got nowhere to go. Looking for him. They're trying to see if he makes his way back out. Does actually manage to survive. Wow, unbelievable. Does stay into the fight, but still has to try to reconnect with the rest of the team. MN3 in the meantime is going to be popping his visor. Going to find some kills, and they will get Who Are You at the end. He dashes across trying to get that elimination. Can't make it happen. The Jigon only going to find Zest. It's the only little takeaway here for the Dragons is they have to reset.
I mean, great play by Fusion in terms of Fury and Zest staying alive there. I believe what Zest did was he floated into the pit, but he didn't use his fly, saved that to get out. So that's, I think, the line of play that ends up happening, obviously, with the bubble as well from Fury to keep him alive. So huge stuff there to make sure that Lip basically spends his entire nanovisor on one target that he can't kill.
Yeah, now MN3, after using that tag visor, swapping over to the Widowmakers, going to just get those instant kills across. Push some significant damage through.
That was huge.
Who Are You?
Woo!
Dashing forward, quick scope in, gets his Iziyaki. Falls a little bit low, but just jumps away, keeps himself safe, and now Lip is completely pinned in the corner. MN3 will get the kill at the end. Nice little swap from him. I mean, Carpe-esque. I think back to 2020. Carpe swapping over on Nepal with the Widowmaker, and it's coming up clutch.
In many ways, I look at MN3 as like the young Carpe, right? He's the rookie Carpe, very similar hero pool, good on all the same types of heroes. Widowmaker's his signature here. Obviously, he destroyed Who Are You. I believe it was a headshot as Who Are You diving on in. They just SMGs him down, looking for more damage now, and he's finding it for sure.
Goes up top, there's going to be the grab coming through. They lock in Void. It's an easy headshot here for MN3. Continues to look for a little bit more. 2 minutes now remaining. Time bank. Drain down by half as MN3 is unleashed. What a beautiful shot there on the Lee Jae gone. And Shanghai Dragons, they need to reset now. This is just time being wasted. Where are you going, my friend? It's completely surrounded.
What's going on
MN3
here?
just domes him from above.
It's gone all wrong for Shanghai. I mean, it's about 1:45. They have the ultimates online. They can definitely do a lot here. It will be a nano visor, but they have to get past MN3, who's just freshly swapped onto a Widowmaker. They wasn't feeling the soldier, was basically trolling on the Ash, but now that he's on this here, he's dominating.
No one can hide from my
some
sight.
unbelievable shots. And now they've got the infra sight. That's just going to be even more time bought here. With just 1:24 remaining, the Shanghai Dragons, it's now very much in question whether or not they're going to be able to finish this map. They almost have 5 ults online versus 3 on the side of Fusion, so they can potentially just really ham-fist their way through to the finish line here, but we'll see. Who Are You? Great opening pick, dashes through, gets the pick up here onto MN3.
Only 5 ults now. It's going to be Zest pulling the trigger first, gets the duplicate deleted instantly. This huge advantage here. Zest is down for the time being. AimGod still has a nano to play through, needs to use it.
Yep, Nano Blade is out where he's looking for a target, but then just playing Ring Around the Rosie here with the pillar. Doesn't get too much through, but they do occupy enough space. They open it up, and the Fusion do not recontest the cart, so it glides through with 48 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say technically not a C9 here. I mean, Achilles, you and I, we are the arbiters and the, you know, the 2 senior sergeants of the C9 police here. I'm going to say that one's not quite a C9 because Lip came in, Visored, killed everybody, no one could touch anyway. It is what it is. MN3 eventually got a lot more pressure put on him. You can see that Who Are You on that Genji was very much trying to dive down into MN3 most times. He was previously as well, but he kind of got owned and shut down that one time he tried. But since then, things did improve as we get through with all the ultimates. Big play there, killing Zest, deleting the duplicate form, having that 5v4 to work with, and then Lip walking forward with the visor. That was what got Shanghai that cap, but 48 seconds. They had, what, over 4 minutes walking on to C? Only 48 seconds remaining for the cap, and so much of that was MN3 slowing them the heck down.
Yeah. Really great effort from him. Obviously, can at least open with the Widowmaker here for that potential early shot. We'll see if he sticks through with it. Wouldn't blame him if he does. Point A is very much a bit of a playground for Widowmakers here on the attack, so could just ride it out. Otherwise, maybe we just see the swap over to the Soldier 76, match Lip.
5, 4, 3.
See if he finds anything here, though, in this moment.
He might stay, actually.
Open up. Well, they've confirmed that he is on that. And okay, it's not what I was anticipating at all. He's going to go for Hanzo.
I don't know if I think this is going to be a good matchup at all. He doesn't have, I think, really a positive matchup versus anybody here. Certainly he isn't going to be pressuring Zest too much. Sorry, Zest is on his own team. Who Are You, I think, too much. So, he probably, well, he will be pressuring Zest because Zest is probably going to have to pull double weight here a little bit if the Hanzo doesn't do it all.
Void playing forward. He's in danger here. The bubbles come out, uses both of them. Does manage to stay alive as that anti comes out. Izayaki is boosting up the healing. Push through the hotel. MN3 just fishing for any kind of stray shot that he can get across. Finds a little bit of damage as Fusion do make their way to the point. They start ticking their way up. See how long we can occupy this spot, though. No kills coming through yet. Just a lot of chip damage back and forth. Push the corner, and the timing is perfect. Catches 2 with the Bionade. MN3 gets the headshot through. Will be traded back, though. Izayaki with a Bionade of his own comes up massively, and Who Are You? Looks like he deflects the sticky bomb back into MN3 and Aim God.
Massive. I mean, that's the kind of Genji level. That's the kind of, like, high-tier Genji gameplay that Who Are You is known for. Puts on a full display here. Good recovery by Shanghai Dragons after losing Void. Sort of questioning what MN3 was going to do with his Hanzo. The answer is put the damage onto Void so that Fury can maybe get a better matchup himself. And instantly Who Are You responds. So, brilliant stuff there. Showing the value of the Genji. Nano's online now as the first ultimate of this half for Izayaki. No ultimates online just yet for the Fusion, but Fury is far ahead of Void.
Alright, well, there's the Nano out on a Who Are You. Lip falling low, but doesn't matter. Stays alive, and they get the DPS first and foremost. The rest of the cleanup looks relatively easy here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons, and Fusion, they don't even get that first tick. They get so close to it, and haven't managed to lock it in. Now it's less than 2 minutes remaining for this first point attack.
Yep.
Ults are still a little ways away. They will not have that grab dragon combo up for a little bit longer unless MN3 can get some shots through.
I don't even think you're going to catch a lot in the Grab Dragon either. Again, you know, in these type of compositions, Void shouldn't be stacking too hard with anybody else on his team. So likely you're going to get a solo or double grab. At best, this is a potential kill here though. Maybe, no.
Ryu goes for the blade. They've got the attack visor out as well. Lip will claim 2. MN3, yeah, sure, he gets that kill. He ends up falling as it's just going to be another team kill coming through for the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Now 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining as Lip is thinking about going on a little bit of a flank angle, but looks like the call will come through for him to join in.
They've actually, that was the first time they spent 2 ultimates on a fight when Shanghai have been very, very frugal with how they're playing their ultimate so far. Just 1 ult for 1 fight. Previously it was Izayaki and the Nano only. Here it's a Visor and a Blade. That's giving some opportunity now for Fusion to bank up their own ultimate. So if not now, then it won't be happening at all. They just have about 5 ultimates online. Lichagon doesn't quite have a sound barrier, and now is the time to strike Fusion.
Dink connects there onto Void. There's the grab, there's the drag, and the anti in on top of Void. He tries to cleanse it off with the bubble. Stays alive a little bit longer, but ends up falling all the same. Who are you? Will claim one. That's the sound barrier out, though, from Lee J gone. Everybody shielded up as they look for additional kills. The rally has to be used by Fixit just to try to keep them in the fight. 1.5 ticks just about picked up as M3 finds a nice kill. Lip is going to be eliminated, but Void is going to be on his way back, and he's going to have this Graviton Surge here pretty darn soon ready to roll. Let's see if he can even get into a position to use it. It seems like no. They will just have to concede this. He'll fall back, and the point will be capped. So, not done yet. 2 minutes and 45 seconds here for the Fusion as they get the cap on A, but how far can they take this card?
Fusion using 3 out of 5 ultimates there. I don't think Fusion were at too much risk of losing that point. You know, if they were pressured, they would spend more ultimates, then play the fight further. They target Void first. Like I said, Lee Jigon was slightly off the sound barrier, so the Grab Dragon combo solo on the Void is the expected kill there, but you know, in 6v6 I think that probably wouldn't have been high value, but in 5v5 that's your only tank gone, so pretty damn high value. Void can't use his grab, that swings the fight pretty heavily. M3 going towards the Cassidy now, which is a very interesting pick. We'll see how that one fares for him.
It's out, Bubbles cleanse. Who are you? Even with a nano, getting chunked low, but they will manage to keep him alive, and he comes up with 2 kills. Zest and Fix-Up both falling down. Oh, the Cassidy, he just showed up, but he's also going to make an exit. M3 instantly is finished off. Doesn't get to find too much of anything there with that pick, and that is going to be Arch control now here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
I mean, I don't know who he would be targeting here. He can shoot people from long range, but that magnetic grenade, it's not a flashbang. There's no stun there. You're not going to stop Who Are You. He's going to get permanently bubbled anyway, so M3 doesn't really have a good opportunity to throw the grenade onto anybody because no one's diving him except for Who Are You. So I don't see high value in this Cassie pick at all. I think Soldier still is the expected high value pick if you want to go towards it. And now we've run out of ultimates for the Fusion, so they could get held here. I mean, this is where Shanghai can really set up their Alamo.
Yep. They've got a plethora of ultimates here to work through as well. Magnetic grenade not going to connect. Who Are You takes down Fury first and foremost.
That's a Lucio
was pretty decent, but Who Are You is just dashing through everybody. Zest finds nothing with the duplicate. And it's just going to be effectively another team wipe. InGod trying to make his exit. Seems like he just about will be able to. No! They push him up into the air, and Izayaki from downtown with a Bionade will finish him off.
Yeah,
what a great pursuit.
You can start to see that Fusion running out of ideas now. Zest is going towards the Genji as well. He's saying, okay, well, they're pocketing Genji with the bubbles. We can do that on our team here as well. But you're looking at a situation where Fury should be okay. I don't think he's under too much pressure, just eats a lot of damage. Zest using duplicate on Legicon's Lucio must have been a misclick. That looked like a misfire to me, because you're never really ever going to go for that.
One would think, but here's Who Are You unleashed yet again. Everybody grouped up for him. M3 will manage to get some nice headshots to punish him, make sure that he can't find anything else off the back of the blade, but that's about it. Cart still held here in the same position. And it's 15 seconds remaining. They're looking for M3, and they will find him. Oh, maybe not. Lee J-Con does Lee J-Con things. M3, he gets some nice hits, and he does manage to stay alive, and he actually gets Izayaki. The supports are gone. This has just been a massive opening. Have Shanghai Dragons flown too close to the sun?
That was a little bit much. That was a wee tad bit of trolling by Lee Jig on there, running at M3 and dying. Izayaki trying to save his life dies as well. And now Fusion get an OT to play with. Shanghai, they've overstepped. Hang on, guys, you haven't won yet. Save the trolling for afterwards, you know. Just win the map first, then we'll talk about it.
Lip. Look at Lip. He's here in the subway, waiting to go on a flank. The nano is available as well, but Zest is sussed it out. He shuts him down quickly. This is, I know exactly how you think. It's the massive punish. Nano now going to be used on the Who Are You, and he's still so far away from a blade. He's just trying to farm it up, but even with that reduced damage, ends up getting chunked out. Void dead. What is this? Just like that, the Fusion have actually broken through. They're going to get this cap on B. They have a second lease on life, and the Shanghai Dragons, it all comes off the back of that pursuit, trying to kill M3.
I mean, but, you know, further risks to be taken as well. Lip wants to go for a flank, spotted up by Zest. They have the ultimates to play through. I mean, Who Are You receives a nano. Legion has a sound barrier. If they play it as 5, maybe Lip just kind of either doesn't get spotted or comes and receives a sound barrier. I can see them playing that properly. At least they burn a lot of ultimates. Fusion get that cap for free. They didn't spend anything. They have 4 ultimates online. None of it spent to cap B.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Void just trying to play in that front line. Nearly has his grab online. Fix is going to be taking a nap for now, but no one can get on top of him. It's safe for now. And Lip, he pops the visor. He instantly gets melted down. Oh my goodness. Such an outpouring of damage, and now Void has fallen as well. And it's going to get this cart around the final corner. As the cleanup comes in, Lip now in desperation, swapping over to the Widowmaker. We'll see if he can find any heads to click on. 4 ultimates nearly available here for the side of the Fusion. So swap again.
Here comes that rally now. I mean, there's so many ultimates with Fusion because, again, they haven't been forced to use anything. So Nanovice is up next. Deadeye's been popped.
Okay, the Bionade is huge. Gets onto 3, but M3, he gets the kill onto Lip. Takes him out with the High Noon. Zest slicing and dicing, looking for a little bit more here. Lee Jae-gon now going to fall. Izyaki's taken out, and they have done it. They will make it the push all the way to the end, and we are going into extra innings. A minute versus a minute 41. Oh my goodness, the Fusion had no right winning this, or pushing it this far. The Shanghai Dragons, off the back of one big blunder, allow it to happen.
Yeah. What is the emoji combo again? Troll face, pinching hand is what happened there for the Shanghai Dragons. It's not just the feed that Lee Jae-gon and Izayaki kind of did chasing into spawn. It was primarily Lee Jae-gon there. I don't want to implicate Izayaki too heavily for it. But beyond that as well, how long did it take to get this one sound barrier out? I mean, even if you weren't going to get the chance to use it to defend B, that initial fight on C, the first fight that occurred, that's when the sound barrier should have come up from Lee Jae-gon. You reset as 5, now it's time to go. Full ham, you got all your ultimates ready. At minimum, you need to start forcing Fusion's hand, drain their economy down so that their final fight, they're not just going to have ultimates to work through, but instead, those 4 to 5-ish kind of ultimates that Fusion walked through B for free with, if they kept that going until the end of the map, those are the same ultimates, mostly. They didn't have to spend anything. That's a crime.
Lee Jae-gon just saying hello.
4, 3, 2,
Retreats back,
1.
joining with his squad. MN3, at least off the start, looking for a target here with the Widowmaker. Will just go ahead, drop down, and he's going right back over to the Cassidy. Let's see if he can have just as much of an impact here with this reduced time bank. Had a very rough go of it last time, just trying to get a cap, so let's see what they can manage.
All right, I mean, 1 minute. Realistically, if they get any sort of distance on A, if they cap A, actually, that's huge because it's 1 minute versus 141. A cap on A actually might seal the deal for the 3-0. Zest wants to go over towards Lip, but not going to get too much done in that first initial bubble. Who are you kind of low, though?
Yeah, low. Forced to use the deflect. Puts that on cooldown. So he is steadily going to get topped back up here. Fusion start making their way onto the point. Lip so low. Takes the sprint. Rotates down to the low ground here with the rest of his squad. Does get topped up. Void now, the one who's being focused on pressure. The first hit comes in for the side of the Fusion. Still with 6 seconds remaining. They can just continue to play the point. Void falling low just around the corner. Who are you is going to get picked? MN3 finds the opening kill, and the cap is coming in. They need to contest this right now, but they just have nobody able to do it. Void will push forward, looking for the reset. And it's just a matter of time. Fusion will get the card out, but can they stay glued to it is the question.
I mean, this is disastrous for Shanghai Dragons because, you know, this map could have already been over. That we would have gone to map 4 by now. But we're looking at a situation where they failed to defend A point. It's a one attempt, a very slow one attempt. MN3 offers a checkbook onto Royale. But more importantly than that, Zest chasing Lip down on those upper battlements forces the high ground control away. So Lip's got no angles to play through. Void's under pressure here as well. I mean, 91% for Fury, he's going to have the first grab. There's no defense so far for the side of Shanghai Dragons. No beat to play with. They have to probably nano Void if he gets caught in the grab. Or maybe they'll just nano Lip and Who Are You and just make a dry play now.
Lip just going to be playing here onto the high ground. Tac Visor still going to be 15% away. Waits out the bubble from Fury. Is the grab now going to be invested? Locks them all up, and MN3 comes rolling into the station. 2 quick headshots. They get the kills. This cart, it is not done moving yet, it would seem. They pound through the Shanghai Dragons. Don't really suffer any losses other than fixing the cart now. Moving forward, is this the miracle run? Can they take it all the way to the end?
They don't have to.
On their side right now.
This is already too far. This is already far too much distance for the Shanghai Dragons to deal with on their own attack with 141. It'll be incredibly difficult for them to get even this far. So, yeah, the damage could have already been done. There still is this grab to play through. Void needs to find it. Fury got a huge grab, catching both supports. Void will be lucky to get anything similar.
Rally almost up, picks up, puts the shield up, keeps himself protected. That's Just going to give him the rally now. He's going to pop it instantly. Here comes the attack flies around the flank, but they immediately dive in. Zest looking for the kill, and he's going to find it. Lip eliminated. Doesn't find any value from the ult yet again. MN3 with the Deadeye comes up with 2. Both supports are out of the fight. Void goes down. Who are you the last one standing? But he will fall, and point B is locked in. The Fusion are not yielding. They use everything that they have in the fight, but like we've been saying, this is already far too much distance for the Dragons to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Dragons are desperate. They're trying to do anything. Lip gets another visor shut down, goes back over towards the soldier. Has got nothing to work through. We're still waiting for the same blade, the same grab that Void of War Youth have had since B. They need to get something off this. That's got to be 1 kill. Brilliant start for the Shanghai Dragons. Can they convert further? They need to.
Okay, Grab is invested, and the kills will come in. It seems like this should just be the end. Who are you? Ends it with a Dragon Blade. They finally stopped this cart momentum right here on the inside of point C, but good lord, who would have thought the Fusion would be able to make it this far with just a minute to begin with? Now, with a 41-second advantage, the Shanghai Dragons need to do the unthinkable as well. They need to push this so very far, or the series is done.
I think that at this rate, I mean, look, if they could take a tag pause, they would. That was the game for it. Shanghai Dragons, 141 to get 2 points here. They would need the most incredible sort of tempo pacing to outpace Fusion entirely, to snowball off their ultimates. Basically everything the Fusion just did to them. Let's talk about that Fury Graviton Surge again. Just catches, I think, 3 people in a sort of meta where usually you can't really catch that many in grabs, and while they confirm the damage because MN3 rolls in double headshots on his Cassidy, it's done and dusted. And somehow, I think because, you know, Shanghai just lacked the ability to engage, MN3 sitting there close to medium range with his Cassidy, actually doing significant damage. He's actually gone back over towards Ashe now. I was definitely criticizing this a little bit earlier on when they originally were playing an Ashe on this A defense. Didn't go well. I think Ashe gets pushed away far too easily, needs Pocking to succeed, and generally just isn't as good as a Soldier or a Widow. He's going to try that again. If there's anything that Shanghai can capitalize off, it might be to get MN3 off of this Ashe again, push him out of the point, get that 5v4.
Well, he's going to see if it can work the second time around. Just repositioning. Lip just right back over onto the Soldier 76. A little bit of dynamite out. Nice little headshot there across. Already a third of the way to having that Bob online. Feels like a significantly better start, but as I say that, MN3 is going to fall. Lee Jae-gon gets on top of Cess as well. And that might just be the point broken, open, and capped. We'll have a good amount of time to work with here as well before we roll into OT as they just pursue deep. Who are you? Farming up. Trying to get as much of a Dragon Blade as he possibly can get.
Yeah, it's important for them to chase here, not just for the ult charge, but to make sure there's no chance to regroup for the side of the Fusion, so they can't actually go for a last-minute contest. Like I said, the Ashe wasn't going to have a lot of value. It's twice in a row now that MN3 has just played that, swapped off instantly, doesn't do a lot at all. It's a poor meta read. That's going to be something the Fusion coaches need to address after this game. Don't go back to Ashe. It seriously ain't it. And that's giving Shanghai Dragons the opportunity now, because Shanghai Dragons get a super clean push. They do lose 2, though. That's pretty massive for Zest.
Okay, Lee Jae-gon and Lip playing off of the flank, and Zest just dashes through for 2, gets a third, as who are you? Will be the recipient of some nice little shurikens to the face. There's the team kill in reverse, and they're just playing in the spawn. The card hasn't moved at all. They say, yeah, we'll just sit on top of you. We've got plenty of time now.
This is huge because this is how they can charge up their own ultimates, and timing-wise, Shanghai need it all the time. And how has Zest not been spotted? He even does an emote there as well. Void walks past. Can he even get a flank here? Easy Yaki's a freebie for sure.
Oh my god, he somehow manages to make it out alive though. Gets himself back to safety, but the OT is now rolling. They have to stay on the cart the entire time if they want to make this happen. Oh, the deflect into the headshot there onto Izayaki. Shuts him down. The nano not able to be used. Lee Jae-gon's going to be good for 1. Gets traded up by MN3. It's just a back and forth here.
It's over.
2 members left standing here. Void falling low, will get picked off, and Lip is the only one alive for the moment. The attack visor's available, but he can't use it. He can't get into position. And the Philly Fusion will take down the Shanghai Dragons 3-0.
I'm going to be real with you, Achilleos. In my opening weeks of pick'ems, I did have Shanghai Dragons losing 3-0, but I didn't think it was going to be this game. Usually they lose their second game of their opening season, not the first one. They've been dominated here. I mean, maybe not this map, but the first map for sure. New in Queen Street. Simply one way in the favor of Fusion. You look at the second map there as well. It was a lot closer, but still, the fuller hold coming on through from the Fusion. And now, I mean, King's Row probably could have been a nap win for the Shanghai. Could they have bounced back and reverse sweep and won the series? Not too sure about that one, but at least they would have gotten away with one map. But I think Dragons let that one through and slip through their fingers. It's a shame, to be sure.
Well, damn, what a performance here from the side of the Fusion. I mean, going with, multiple substitutions here. We see Carpe at the very beginning, still looks great. Swap out for MN3, a little bit shaky at the start there, but ends up finding his groove and finding an immense amount of impact. Zest as well. This is a terrifying DPS duo that other teams are now going to have to be concerned about playing against. And we see Fury come back in, looks just as good. But man, what a performance from these guys. Belos Ria as well in his debut, able to pick up that map when playing Winston. It's just, and I don't think I ever really get to say this, it's a great feeling as a Fusion fan. I'm trying to think the last time that I really got to say that with meaning. But damn, what a start to the season for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will say though, this is where you got to temper your expectations. You'll get the win now, but the full Fusion experience is that you're gonna look great versus the Dragons, and then wonder how you lost to the Valiant in a week from now. Like, what's going on, guys? But we'll get to that a week later. For now, you get to bask in your victory.
It's very possible.
I gotta say as well, what a brilliant start for the rookies. Let's highlight one of them. Player of the match here is gonna be one of our brand new rookies. You'll see him on screen soon. I don't want to spoil him yet, but it is a year of the rookies, isn't it, Seth? Because you look at Shock, they've had a full team basically of rookies across the board, and every single team performing well. Twilight and Chorong, the rookie, Twilight's not the rookie, Chorong, the rookie of Toronto Defiant as well. Look at Finale doing great on that team. I could name more teams, but the point is, I think we've just seen so much brilliant play out of new players. Zest is the player of the match here from the Fusion side of things, and he dominated all three maps. Tracer, Genji, Echo, 3 different pricks, 3 different maps. This play as well, diving beneath the point, the fly comes up just in time. Just everything Zest did was brilliant. I think he actually outplayed Flitter as well, and that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, very well deserved here on the player of the match. I think you could also just as easily make a bit of an argument for MN3 off the back of this. So really strong performance, and it looked like MN3 actually maybe even shedding some tears of happiness there at the very end. But damn, what a performance here from Zest. Really great. We see him swap over the Genji, and he is able to just really keep up and punish who are you at every twist and turn. But the Echo as well, fantastic looking from Zest.
I gotta say as well, because a lot of Fusion fans were super down on this team in the offseason, like, oh my god, every other team's making all these huge pickups and all these massive veteran players. Why are we only getting rookies? You guys need to make a damn apology to Fusion right now, because they're showing up why exactly they got rookies. All these T1 rookies coming through, they're underrated because people are like, oh yeah, well, I mean, Talon and O2 Blast, they're the best Korean contenders teams. Everyone forgot about T1. Well, now you remember T1. Now you know why these guys got picked up and why they're here to stay.
Yeah, incredible performance here from the Fusion. Definitely, I think, a large weight lifted off the shoulders here for the rookies, the organization, everybody involved to be able to get not only the first win, but your first match win against the Shanghai Dragons. Just utterly incredible to see from them. Got to be, feeling like they're on cloud 9 right now, I would think. But good way to kick things off. We're not done yet. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll break down that first series a little bit more, and then we'll get ready to go in for the Valiant versus the Guangzhou Charge. So don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues in just a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. We're going to go ahead and break it down for our first series that is now concluded here. I think there's a good amount to unpack here, Avril. What are your initial takeaways coming off the back of a 3-0 season starter for the Fusion?
Well, here's some, let me make a couple of excuses for the Shanghai Dragons, because I know they probably won't. They'll be pretty apologetic on their social and stuff like that. This is a pretty rough loss for the Shanghai Dragons, where a huge amount of pressure as the defending champion squad, but at the same time, they've had some issues in Shanghai. They've actually relocated from Guangzhou to Shanghai physically. They were actually in Guangzhou last year, even though they're Shanghai Dragons. My point is, they've had some issues logistically to work through, but at the same time, I don't know if they've had the best read on the meta. They are playing a lot of Zarya. Hanbin from Dallas Fuel said that maybe APAC was going to be playing a decent amount of Zarya. Dallas like to play their Zarya. I still think there's a lot of room for the Winston to be there. In fact, I still think Winston's probably the more important main tank, here, generally speaking, for this particular meta. Shanghai definitely got outcomped on that first map of near Queen Street. Moving on to some of the other maps, I think Boy got a little bit more confident. You have the Zarya versus Zarya battle, which is a lot better for them. But the Philadelphia Fusion, to me, them getting huge value out of these rookie DPSs who, I think we're always going to be really good. People were a little bit anxious about how would they actually perform. Carpe is going to get benched out. MN3 comes out, starts off slow, looking like a god as usual. But Lip Soldier got shut down. How many visor sets do we see? I mean, Lip just goes for visor, instantly kind of dies there. Shanghai kind of getting outplayed in times individually. King's Row was a bit of a mess as well. We saw what happened there, where it started to look like they were winning, and then they lose control. We go to a time bank. And, I mean, Fusion just camp all the way there. To me, Fusion mostly had a slightly better read on the meta. I'm not just talking about the Winston here, but across the board, I think the Echo pick is starting to look really strong. And Zest did a lot with that. The fact that he outplayed Fleta was a delight.
Yeah. He outplayed Fleta. He outplayed Who Are You? Swapping over to the Genji as well. So, fantastic from him, for the entire team. Our first player of the match here in the APAC region in 2022 goes to this rookie who looks utterly fantastic. So that's going to be a fantastic feeling for them. But it just feels odd. It seems like, it feels like off the back of that, the Shanghai Dragons just weren't able to maintain form throughout the series. They had those moments of brilliance where it looked like they were really dominant. You think back to Circuit Royale, they're like, oh yeah, there's no way. Like, they have this really strong defense, and then they just kind of crush it after that. But then they just end up dropping it. It feels like they are also now starting to drop their spaghetti, and the Fusion have discovered the 5-second rule, Avril. They're saying, oh, you know what? We can actually pick that spaghetti up off the floor. It's still good. And so they grab it again, and they continue to consume it.
And this is giving me conflicted feelings, because eventually we're going to have Philly versus Seoul again. My favorite matchup and rivalry in the APAC region, and that used to be the Spaghetti Bowl. It will again, but now it's like, it's a different... Now they just all have spaghetti on plates. So both teams just got to be really good. Like, I don't know what to think anymore, but I love to see Fusion doing well. I think the Fusion fans love that as well.
Yeah, well, all right. It is now time to move on to our second series of the evening, so we will have another little quick break. But then when we come back, we're going to be getting ready to take a look at the LA Valiant as well as the Guangzhou Charge, duking it out. You and I have cast a hell of a lot of Valiant, and we're going to continue it here with the first day of the season. Avril, we're going straight back into it. So guys, don't go anywhere. Series 2 is coming up in just a few. Alrighty, welcome back, guys. It's time to jump into our second series of the evening. And oh boy, here we go. Strap yourselves in, because it's going to be the Guangzhou Charge going up against the LA Valiant. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what is going to happen. We've already had a massive surprise in our first series with Fusion taking down the Shanghai Dragons 3-0. Now, what do we got on the plate here going into map 2? What are you kind of what are you expecting, I think, here, Avril, going into this series?
Oh my goodness. This is like maybe the first time I'm truly excited to cast and watch an LA Valiant game, because last year, like you said, we probably did, I counted, we did the most LA Valiant games, and I'm going to claim this, as the analyst in this duo as well. I think right now at this stage, I'm like the world's foremost expert on the LA Valiant, and again, by the way, that's going to happen because we have, 14 out of 24 of the Valiant matches this year is going to be handled by us, so we're going to be Valiant experts through and through.
Yep.
But their squad is actually kind of boggers this time around. Like, really cool. Noah Hill leading the charge as the head coach, and if you don't know Noah Hill, he is infamous. He is probably one of the most, winningest Tier 2 coaches that we had in recent history. He's part of that Team CC super team that had the year in it, that a bunch of the Valiant roster has been built around. They have the CC core of players coming on through, and that's a really exciting thing. You have Sashin coming back as well after taking a big-ass hiatus from the Hangzhou Spark. Don't know what happened there, but he's back in action now. Becky, who comes in from Contenders. Lengsa, who just had a winning record on Team Chaser. Coldest, who just came in from the Hangzhou Sparks. So it's a bit of a mishmash of a roster. Funny enough, the Valiant also have 5 DPS players, so they're not hurting in that regard.
Yeah, they've got a hell of a lot of firepower that they can utilize at any given time. We'll see what swaps may be made throughout this series right here. But that's the Valiant out of the way and introduced. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Guangzhou Charge. And there they are. I love that we can always kind of rely on the Guangzhou Charge to put up some nice hype videos for us, introduce the roster. I love that they have that, and they continue to do that year over year. But here's the starting 5 for the Guangzhou Charge. Got Development Choice A1 there in the DPS positions. Rio coming out as a tank, unique and far away. Most recent pickup for the squad there in support.
Absolutely, and yeah, you probably have heard the whole Chengdu storyline where their team roster size got cut down significantly, just down to the minimum of 6 now, so one of the casualties of that was Faraway, who's found himself on a new team here with the Charge, and he's actually playing instead of Molly, so I wonder what the meta read here is. Is he going to be on Zenyatta, or is he just going to be playing the Ana, which is Molly's signature pick anyway? Choice F1 playing in the opening game is huge for this team because he was actually out with an injury for most of the preseason. He's actually going to be starting today, so he's ready to go. He's like the star player on the team, right? So very important for the Charge, very important for this specific meta, and Develop newly joining this team from the Shanghai Dragons as well. Excited to finally see him play instead of just riding the bench.
Well, here is our map set going into this series. We were going to start things off with Colosseo. Then we will take a good old look at Route 66, Eichenwald, maybe get to Ilios and New Queen Street if this goes beyond a 3-map set.
So one of the key heroes, I think, for especially push and control maps in this particular meta is going to be the Tracer. Genji, as we know, is a fan favorite pick, or maybe a team favorite pick as well. So far, that along with the Soldier. So develop Soldier, Choice in 1 Tracer probably will be the line of play unless Choi really wants to go on the Genji, which he's also known for. I think he probably was one of the key Genji plays in the 2021 year when Genji basically wasn't played at all at Helios. I mean, Guangzhou were one of the few teams seriously forcing out the Genji, and now Choi gets to play Genji in an actual Genji meta. Sashin, as we know, is a Zarya player. That's his signature hero. He gets to run out with that straight away on Colosseo.
All right, well, out the gates here we go. A bit more Genji action. Becky going to be looking to show that the Reaper can, in fact, work. And that flat out was just a fluke in that first map of the last series. Everybody going to be meeting in the middle, though. Let's see who is going to be able to draw first blood.
Not actually even really go for the push bot just yet. You can see Charge's strategy is to take the sort of fountain area first, make sure they have the flank control. Becky frontlining again. To get value out of this Reaper, you need to be punishing that Rio Winston. Early Baron there from Coldest catches double. That's going to force Charge back.
All right, well, bot unlocked, able to move. Push is going to begin here. It's Valiant. First one's onto it. So working it forward here. Dive into the back. Rio looking for a kill. It's perfectly timed by Choice A1. They get straight in on top of Coldest. Anti's out onto Sashin as well. We'll be able to clean up a couple kills here, trying to wrest control away from the side of the Valiant. Dia has managed to pick up 2 kills, however. Both DPS now falling on the side of the Charge, and he's going to get a 3rd. Unique is dead. Dia is just taking over the lobby right now. Nano slept, but it seems like he's relatively safe. No one getting in on top of him. He'll make his exit. In the meantime, Becky's killed off Faraway.
I mean, Dia's like basically 1vx that situation. Welcome back to the Overwatch League, by the way, Dia. Last seen on the Shanghai Dragons in what year was it? 2019, I think was his last season. Didn't even really get to play. I think the one map that he played one map where he drew, but as otherwise, you know, hasn't had the best record ever in the Overwatch League. Even though Shanghai came back with a big year, Dia wasn't really part of it. Now he gets to have his time in the Overwatch League, and it starts out beautifully with a 3K.
Develop flanking around the back, trying to put some damage there into Sasha. Now the Nano gonna come through. He's looking for a kill, but gets slept, woken up quickly, but is quickly put to bed yet again as Becky finishes him off with that nice little Death Blossom. Colosseo able to find Dia. That's about it here so far from the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Looking like they're on struggle street.
They're getting towards ultimates though, importantly, so they'll have the first Death Blossom come on through successfully for the LA Valiant. Now that's out of the picture. We'll look towards the other ultimates online that are coming online, I should rather say, for the Charge, and they want to get in because Sashin's on 1 HP. My goodness, he barely survives, but they lose all the space.
Keep topped up here for the time being. Continued harassment coming out as this gets chunked in between these bubble timings. Massive ult farm coming up though. The side of the Guangzhou Charge, Unique 20% away from having that sound barrier, and there's Dia getting unleashed, instantly finds Unique and Develop. Will finally be slept, but it is far too late from far away. They look to get the finishing blow here, but cannot make it happen. Dia wakes up, gets the headshots through. That's going to be a lot of distance bought now for the side of the Valiant, who are starting things off with a right foot forward.
I mean, Dia's had 6 final blows now, and both of those 3s came through from 2 back-to-back 3Ks, right? So brilliant stuff from Dia so far, putting the team on his shoulders and having a lot of support there as well. Definitely the star player of this team coming into the brand new season with the LA Valiant. Still yet to see Charge take a good fight here. They have a Blade online, waiting for the Nano. Sasha's nearly got a grab, might even just solo grab Choi, honestly, when he goes in.
So one just fishing for some early damage here, waiting to pull the Blade. Just around the side. But now, occupy the cart. Dia opens things, finds far away before he can use the Nano boost. Now the Blade comes out. Colosseo look to try to drag this back into their favor. 2 quick kills for him. Seems like it has worked a treat. Dia, the last one standing, laying it back over with the rest to join in with the rest of the team. The bot finally going to be controlled here by the side of the Guangzhou Charge. How far can they make it though before the recontest comes in? That is the question.
You have to wait for far away as well, and well, like the name says, he is pretty far away at the moment. He did get solo grab by Sash in the last fight. Good threat assessment by Choice of One to recognize, okay, grab's off the table, they don't have a sound barrier, it's my time to shine, and they'll win a fight off that one. This one's going to have to be I was going to say Nano, or probably Rio or Develop with Unique down. They have to reset.
That they do. So only get it pushed 19 meters here compared to the 50. Bot making his way back over, and a bit of an awkward position here, but no, maybe not. Actually do manage to find 2 quick kills. Lings and Becky both can be eliminated. Develop trying to just hound down Dia. Doesn't quite manage to make it happen, but Rio off screen will find that kill inevitably. And with that extended team kill, there's the words I'm looking for, team kill coming through, they can finally start pushing yet again.
I gotta say, that's a huge fight win for the Charge because it did not look favored for them. It was a 4v5. Unique was taken down, and Dia had high ground control as well. But brilliant pickups from the Guangzhou Charge means they get to maintain payload control. The most important thing here is to not have the push bot reset. Rio's gonna dive in and Develop follows up. Ooh, Becky's all cancelled.
Yeah, point blank kill. It's that kill there onto Becky. Like you said, the Death Blossom going to be completely canceled. Just trying to use it right in on top of his face, and he falls flat for it. Now taking the lead, the Guangzhou Charge. Starting to stretch a little bit further here with 3 minutes remaining left in the map. Colosseo finds one. There's the Nano out. Dia dropping to the low ground. Still low on health. He's trying to get this kill on the Unique and finally manages to make it happen, but they've lost 2 members at the same time. So even though he comes up with that kill onto the Lucio, everybody else just falling by the wayside here on the side of the LA Valiant.
I mean, again, just brilliant stuff in terms of pacing there. Rio goes in, Choi follows, Choi and Develop follow up. Develop 1v1s, Becky just completely annihilates him. This will pull one back, but we've seen Charge win a 4v5 before. This one will be a little bit tougher though because high ground control in favor of the Valiant. Here they go. And they just take the payload away. Okay, well, Charge, I think they just completely reset one. Weren't interested at all in the 4v5, and you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, push forward, they get a good amount of distance here. They've got a 24-meter stretch over top of the Valiant. Now they'll look to take the fight to them right here in the center of the map and shut them down. Gold is going to get dropped there. Helix Rockets from Develop looking good as Rio goes bananas with that Primal Rage. So they shift them off the high ground, but he has overstepped. Good damage focus comes through from the side of the Valiant. They punish the Monkey. Colosseo though, still as deadly as ever. Finds a pick up onto Sasha, so exchange on the tanks. Blade's going to be pulled. He goes in deep, but the swipe is good. Finds Dia, looks for a little bit more. Sets up for the kill there onto Lengza, and Becky will fall. Just like that, the Guangzhou Charger now can get even more distance added onto this.
Yeah, I mean, so they definitely get the payoff for falling back there, regrouping with Faraway, get the pushes 5 again, play the Blade, don't even need the Nano there. Choice F1 just farms, and now that we do have the Nano, you can pair that up with this Visor. 85 meters, by the way, is beginning to become insurmountable for the LA Valley, especially because there's no time left.
Alright, Sound Barrier comes down from Lengza just to try to outlast Develop's Pack Visor, but he still gets the damage through. The focus is looking good as they come up with 3 quick kills. Unique finding 2 of them for himself. Faraway in the meantime just sitting back on the bot, continues to have this push forward as they yet again find an extended team kill here.
Time is really getting pulled now. I mean, we're looking at 1 minute remaining. You're looking at the fact that 120 meters, you basically can't come back from that. Guangzhou Chargers need to make sure they're not going to throw this. They need to make sure they're not going to make any big mistakes here. Valiant have only got this grab to play through, and it probably isn't going to be enough. Unique can just sound barrier that one as well.
Dia
will just frag. Excuse me, Dia, what?
Okay, he will finally go down, but not before Becky puts another one on top. Faraway in his dying breath will finish off the soldier, but they have done still a significant amount of damage here as far as how much they've gotten the push here on this cart.
OT about to be triggered. I mean, LA Valley had to win every single fight from here on outwards. They have ultimates to play through, but they can't have anybody die because the respawn reinforcement distance is humongous. To actually get back into the fight if you go down is ridiculous, and no one's on the payload right now, by the way, so they need to make sure they're still touching. Sashin goes back in. We're still waiting for the grab play.
Let's see if the Death Blossom can find anything here. Becky being forced away. Bot starting to shift forward over time. Starting to tick here. Finding some progress, but the Death Blossom is not going to find a damn thing. Rio, though, does get put to bed, and Lengza comes up with a kill. Nano Boost now going to be thrown out here onto the Reaper as he goes charging forward, looking for some targets, but everybody just runs away. He's going to try to TP up into their faces, trying desperately to get on top of Unique, and Unique actually kind of delivers himself to death. He's end up falling. The bot now makes it to the next checkpoint, has to take his little smoke break for a second there, and then he'll begin to progress yet again.
Still 2 ultimates to play through here. I mean, LA Valiant, they might actually be a team that could get this OT push done, but I dare say they have to probably still win up to 2 more fights in a row. 120 meters is still 40 away. Here come those ultimates. It's going to be a Nano versus the Visor.
If dive goes through, it is just an absolute cluster right now. Choice A1, though, finding one of the supports to develop falling. Now Dia out of the mix, though. That's going to be the lion's share of their damage on the side of the Valiant. They forced them off the bot for long enough to go ahead and pick up the win. Hard fought, though, very back and forth with Valiant kicking things off nicely, but the Guangzhou Charge managed to wrest control away from them, and they will go ahead and take the first map in this series.
I mean, to really put in perspective how much work Dia was trying to do for the Valiant there, he actually got a deadlift. 12 total eliminations from him out of the entire LA Valiant's 22 eliminations. He got 12 out of 22 there. He actually did put the team on his back. Choi on the other end got 15 out of 33, so Choi nearly got his own deadlift, but Dia 100% deadlifted there. Unfortunately, though, as I said, trying to push an OT is basically, in my opinion, not really possible on push. You kind of can't win an OT. You simply have to win too many fights in a row. The respawn advantage is on the other team. It's working against you. So if you get to the stage where you're OT, you have to push to 120 meters, I mean, try as you might, the map's going to work against you.
Yeah, put a fork in it. Well, it's still a good little, I think, breath of fresh air overall for the side of the Valiant here. Tezande looking like he has plenty to cheer for this season. We'll see if they can answer back, look just as strong as they did at the beginning of this map as we do get ready to move forward into map number 2. That is going to be Route 66. It's coming up in just a few minutes, guys, so don't go anywhere.